So at the end of our last episode, you would have been left on a bit of a suspense. Unfortunately, the cassette deck didn't work as we had hoped. When we put in the tape, it started playing it and it sounded like, the best way that was described was by Phil. He said that it sounded like as if you're at a club and you're in the club toilet and you can hear the music outside. That's what it sounded like. So it sounded like very muffled, a bit like underground, underwater. Opened the deck and the inside tape had unravelled. It was just kind of ruined the tape. That was the first part of it that didn't work. So I'd been so optimistic until this point, and then I just got a bit sad and I was like, no, like I really hope the vinyl works. So you might remember when we first got the stereo system, unfortunately the inside turntable belt had melted onto the inside of the system, which wasn't ideal. So I ordered a new turntable belt. The seller sent it with Every, which is fine, but Every gave me a window of time that they were going to deliver in the morning between 10:30 and 11:30, and obviously with Every, the turntable belt didn't arrive until 4:30. So during the day, we were getting a bit impatient and we wanted to try and test to see if the turntable worked. So we put together a little elastic band type turntable belt. It did work. We just kind of span it with our finger. As with the turntable belt, the cartridge on the system also wasn't working. It was an Audio-Technica one. In the meantime, we briefly put on a spare one that we had, and we then put the elastic band turntable belt on and tried to play it, and we did get some sound. Then I was just patiently waiting for the turntable belt to arrive. When it did arrive, we put it on, and I had a couple of records that I'd bought over the weekend. One of them was Earth, Wind and Fire, which had Boogie Wonderland on. So we put the belt on, popped the record on, and it worked. So in terms of cartridges, I had a few options that I could go for. I could either stick with the Audio-Technica that came with the turntable and just change it for a replacement stylus, or I could go down a different route. And I do love audiophile cartridges. They're something that I've always wanted if I was going to have a turntable. Here's a snippet of us taking out the temporary cartridge that we had put into the Toshiba. This is the first time I've ever done this, so this is a really good learning experience for me. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Just got some tweezers, slowly and carefully pulled out the wires and then unscrewed the cartridge and popped it out. I wanted to try to use an audiophile cartridge in the Toshiba. Unfortunately, when we tried to put the audiophile 2M Red into the head shell, disaster struck again. We didn't think to measure it, to check it would fit, and unfortunately the 2M Red was too big for the head shell. Now I had a few options going onwards. I could either buy one of the audiophile head shells, removing the one that came with the Toshiba and using the audiophile head shell with the 2M Red, or trying a gold note cartridge, which we believe is smaller, so should fit in the head shell, or just sticking with the Audio-Technica one and replacing the stylus.